The bodies of two Iowa National Guard soldiers killed in an attack in Syria are now back on U.S. soil tonight. They were honored in a dignified transfer ceremony today, attended by the president, as well as Iowa's governor and senators. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight for the News at 6. I'm Luke Birdsall.
And I'm Elizabeth Kling. Sergeant William Nate Howard of Marshalltown and Sergeant Edgar Torres Tovar of Des Moines were two of the men killed in Syria this past weekend.
KWWL's Alex Johnson spoke with a friend of Sergeant Howard's father about what their sacrifice means to the community and law enforcement.
A brother in arms can be a family, friend, or a true brother. It doesn't matter the profession. But when your family's hurt or suffering, you feel it too. And that stays true for the entirety of law enforcement in that community of Iowa.
I found out that two soldiers were killed in Syria. It's always heartbreaking, and I got a phone call notifying myself, and I then notified the rest of my staff that it was two Iowa National Guardsmen that were killed in the Syria attack, and that's when I learned that it was Nate Howard.
Tama County Sheriff Casey Schmidt is a family friend and peer of Sergeant Howard's father, Meskwaki Police Chief Jeff Bunn. Sheriff Schmidt says there has been a large show of support for the families of both soldiers that were killed in action from law enforcement in Iowa. He says that's because there are many soldiers and veterans that form the ranks behind the badge.
I think that's why we see so much support from law enforcement, because a lot of agencies and a lot of law enforcement is made up of prior military or even, active duty, National Guard, Reserve, any type of military service. There's that camaraderie there.
Sheriff Schmidt talked about how the loss of Sergeant Howard and Torres Tovar are absolutely heartbreaking, but he knows the people in our state will get behind and support both families.
Like I said, Iowa will step up. We'll all step up and make sure that we do what we can to remember who they are and what sacrifices they made for all of us, especially in Iowa.
The Iowa National Guard says once the soldiers have been through the dignified process and rituals of respect and honor at Dover, they will be brought to Iowa for additional ceremonies and memorials, which have not been scheduled yet. Flags across Iowa will remain at half-staff until sunset on the day of their internment.